written by Rose Farah. Where is it? The Arab Republic of Egypt is in the northeastern corner of the continent Africa, a small part of the country. Sinai Peninsula is located in Asia. Sinai Peninsula shares border with Israel, Palestine. To the north of Egypt is the Mediterranean Sea, and to the east of it, much of the sea, is the Red Sea. The country has 2,450 kilometers of coastline. Down to the south of Egypt and to the west is Libya. Where is it? The Arab Republic of Egypt is in the northeast corner of the continent of Africa, a small part of the country. The Sinai Peninsula is located in Asia. The Sinai Peninsula shares its border with Israel and Palestine. To the north of Egypt is the Mediterranean Sea, and to the east of much of the country is the Red Sea. The country has 2,450 kilometers coastline. Stand east to the south of Egypt, and to the west is Libya. Cairo, Egypt's capital city, is located in the north. Nile River flows through it on its way to the Mediterranean Sea. Cairo is one of the largest cities in Africa, with a population of more than 21 million people. Cairo sits on the same site as it is more than 1,000 years ago. Muslim Arab who conquered Egypt in 640 CE. Name is Al-Qahira, which means the victorious in Arabic. Before that time, other ancient civilizations built towns on or near the site. Cairo is a place where ancient myths, modern mosques, and other buildings reflect Egypt's long history. Many buildings date back to the time when Romans, Arabs, and Turks ruled Egypt. Near Cairo are the pyramids of Giza, the ancient Egypt of the Pharaoh. Modern hotels line the Nile. People. More than 106 million people live in Egypt. Many Egypt's cities and towns are located along the Nile, which runs through the eastern part of the country because the rest of the country is mainly desert. A large majority of Egyptians live near the Nile. People use groundwater for cooking, washing, and drinking. They use river waters for irrigating crops. Many farmers grow cotton for Egypt's large textile industry in the fertile land along the banks of the Nile. Farmers also grow wheat, rice, corn, beans, fruits, and vegetables. They dig canals that channel the river to water to the crops for irrigation. In Egypt City, many people work in service industry, and tourism is an important of the country's economy. In addition, people work in factories to produce textiles and process food. Most people in Egypt speak some form of Arabic. Most Egyptians are descended from people originally live in the Arabian Peninsula in Asia. Other Egyptians are of African descent, and many of the group have their own languages as well. About 90% of the Egyptians are Muslim, the religion of Islam. Nearly 10% are Christian. Christianity was the dominant religion in Egypt before Islam dispersed the region around 640. Many Egyptians in cities wear Western-sized clothing, and many Egyptians also wear long-sleeved tunics called calabajas. Men often wear white, blue, or gray ones, while unmarried women usually wear bright color. In addition, Muslim women typically wear a veil called hijab that covers their head. Land. Most of Egypt is covered with desert. The large western desert covers two-thirds of the country. The eastern desert lies next to the Red Sea, and the smaller Sinai Desert covers the Sinai Peninsula. Of this desert, a part of the Sahara, each desert has its own unique characteristics. The western desert looks like an endless sea of sand dunes with many sharp rocks. The eastern desert had wadis, or dry beds of seasonal river that filled up with water only after a heavy rain. The eastern desert also includes a rugged mountain in the east. The Sinai Desert has tall mountains and deep canyons. In all three deserts, wind oases can be found. The fertile Nile River Valley is the border between the western and the eastern desert. In the Nile is one of the strongest rivers in the world, flowing from south to north and ending at the Mediterranean Sea near its mouth. The river spread out into the triangle shaped like a Nile Delta, first seen in Egypt. The Nile Delta stretches about 160 kilometers between Cairo and the Mediterranean Sea in the south of Egypt. The Nile forms the world's largest artificial lake, Lake Nasser. The lake was created in the 1960s when the Aswan Dam was built. On some historical sites were originally located on the land flooded to create Lake Nasser, but were moved and reconstructed on safer ground nearby. History. Thousands of years ago, one of the world's first civilizations developed along the bank of the Nile in Egypt. The seasonal flooding of the river provided rich land for the ancient Egyptians, and they crowned among the first people in the world to grow crops and use a plow. For about 3,000 years, 30 different dynasties of pharaohs ruled ancient Egypt. Some ancient Egyptians believed the pharaohs were living gods, and they built huge stone monuments and tombs for them. The ancient Egyptians were also polytheistic, which means they believed in many gods. The pharaohs led the building of the elaborate stone temples to honor different Egyptian gods. Between about 2700 and 1000 BC, Egypt was one of the greatest civilizations in the world. Over the centuries, several outside forces have conquered or occupied Egypt. In 332 BC, the Empire of Alexander the Great invaded Egypt and made it part of the Greek Empire. Egypt was under Greek rule for about 300 years, when Alexander founded the city of Alexandria, which still sits on the northern coast and the country's main seaport. After centuries of Roman and Persian control, in 640 CE, an Muslim army of the Alpine Peninsula conquered Egypt. Muslim destiny, including the Fatimids, Magyars, and Ottomans, ruled Egypt until the 1700s. In 1798, France attempted to invade Egypt, motivating the British to become involved in the Egypt's government. British did not want France to gain control of Egypt. The Ottoman Empire regained control of Egypt for the next century, but British and French influence remained. During World War One, Britain made Egypt a British protectorate, or country that is protected and controlled by another country. In 1922, Egypt won its independence from the British. Landmarks. Every year, millions of people visit Egypt to see its ancient landmarks. One of the most famous landmarks is the Valley of the Kings in southern Egypt. Some of Egypt's most famous six pharaohs were buried in here. More than 60 tombs along of the treasures long ago. However, the tomb of the treasure, when it was discovered in 1912, many of these amazing treasures are displayed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. The temples at the Abu Simbel along the banks of Lake Nasser are another popular tourist site. Two of the temples were built by Ramses II, pharaoh of Egypt from 1979 to 1913 BC, before giant stone statues of Ramses II at the entrance to the Great Temple, which was carved out of a cliff. Inside this temple, 3 hallways extended to the cliff include more statues and painting scenes. The hallway led to a shrine at the temple center dedicated to some of the Egyptian gods. Animals. In the Egypt's rural areas raise many animals, such as sheep, goats, donkey, and water buffalo. Some people also raise and use camels for work. Some wild animals live in the harsh conditions of the desert. One desert animal is a phoenix, a small fruit of large ears. The phoenix spends most of its day underground in a burrow and comes out at night to find food. Many snakes, lizards, scorpions also live in the desert. The ibex, a sturdy white goat, is another animal that can survive in the desert difficult conditions. The Nile and its valley are also home to many kinds of animals. Hundreds of different types of fish swim in the Nile water, and crocodiles can be found in the southern part of the river. Conclusion. Egypt is an amazing country filled with history. Both animals and people live in rock desert, cutting paths through the desert. The Nile River provides life-giving water and fertile land for crops. Throughout history, various civilizations that found a home in Egypt shaped its people and culture, produce knowledge that benefit the world. Egypt's many historical sites hold secrets and treasures sure to be important to everyone.
Good job!